Hello everyone, I am FIDE instructor and Arena International Master Rishikesh Chavan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today in Chess Made Simple, we are going to learn about attacking the Castle King. It's a part 2. Part 1 we have already recorded. So let's start. Now we have successfully broken the castling wall of the king. Now checkmate is not far away. Now here we wish to play knight f4, and after that queen g2 checkmate is unstoppable. But right now this rook on e4 is defending f4 square. So we have to divert the rook, and that way we are going to play knight e2 check. Black, it's almost a checkmate. Black is forcing a checkmate, so that's why white is forced to capture the rook. And after rook into knight, now the rook no longer controls f4 square, and that way we can go ahead with our plan. We are going to play knight e4, and then checkmate follows on the next move. Let's move ahead. Okay. Now here we have opened the H file. All our heavy pieces are lined up on the H file. Right now this G7 bishop is the only piece which is defending the black king. Let's see what to do. King has moved to F8 and black is planning to escape through this E7 square. So he is calculating something like maybe this check. If we are sacrificing the queen, of course we have a better plan than that, and then maybe he will just sneak away to e7 and he is safe. But we are not going to do that, or we are not going to allow him to sneak away. So we are going to play queen into bishop. It's a check. Now if he moves away to e7, then for now his king is safe. But then we have a free bishop. We got free bishop, and I guess even after he moves to e7, he's not far away from the checkmate. So we can continue with queen f6 check. Is forced on the back rank, that is king e8, and then rook h8 is a checkmate. What if he captures the king queen? So that's the main variation. So he's going to capture the queen. Now, if I give check first, then he will move to f8 and then he will run away to e7. We don't want that to happen. So that's why we are going to play rook h8 first. We are stopping the escape square of the king so that king cannot move to f8 and then to e7. And now on the next move we are going to play r1 to h7, and it's a checkmate, and this checkmate is unstoppable. Let's move ahead with the next puzzle. Okay, here again we have successfully breached the wall of castling. So our pieces are surrounding black king. Let's see how we can continue. Okay, here this can be a checkmate. Queen into f6. He is forced to play rook g7, and then we'll play queen into g7 mate. Right now f6 is covered by the queen, so this plan is not working right now. We also have one plan. We can directly play queen g7 checkmate, but that g7 checkmate is stopped by the rook on g8. So here we are going to play rook e8. We are attacking both the pieces, and we are trying to remove one of the defenders. If he captures with the queen, then f7 is no longer guarded, and we are going to play queen into f6 check, rook g7, and it will be a mate. And if he captures with the rook, then of course g7 is not defended anymore, and we are going to play queen g7 checkmate. Next position, please. This is a similar looking position where the g7 pawn is absent. King is open through this diagonal, and at the same time g file is open. There are lots of heavy pieces near the king, or you can say they can reach the king easily. So let's see how to proceed ahead. Here we are going to play queen h6. Now the idea is to play this checkmate. So again the similar looking position which we just discussed. Now black is forced to play rook g8 to stop this queen g7 checkmate. Now there are two checkmates coming up. One is directly queen g7 mate, which is defended by the rook right now, and the other checkmate is we are going to play queen f6 check. uh, if he plays rook g7, then we are going to play queen into g7 mate. Right now queen f6 is not possible just because black queen is defending f6. So again the similar looking tactics we are going to use. We are going to divert the defender. So if he captures with the rook, then it will be a checkmate, and if he captures with the queen, then there follows check. He is forced to block the check with the rook, then we'll capture the rook with the queen, and it's a mate. Let's move ahead. Here again, castling wall is broken. There is a hole in this g file, and there are many white pieces surrounding black king. Let's see how should we continue. Now normally, as we have discussed in part 1 of attacking the castle king, castle king is checkmated either on g file or on h file. So in this case, g7 and h7, these are potential checkmate squares. So let's see what we can do. We are starting with knight f6 check. It's a fork. So black must capture the knight. Also, if he moves the king away, there will be a quick checkmate on h7. So black is forced to play bishop into f6. Now, why did we sacrifice the knight? Because now we are going to play bishop d3, and as you can see, checkmate on h7 is unstoppable. Black can delay the checkmate, so maybe he can play something like this: bishop f5 will simply capture, and again mate in 1 will follow. There is no way black can stop this checkmate. So try and remember all these checkmate patterns, all these tricks where we are launching a direct attack against opponent's castle king. Let's move ahead. Okay, again similar looking position. All this position may look similar because once the king is castled, the position is somewhat similar. There will be those h and g pawn defending the king, and if those pawns are moved away or those pawns are removed, then it will be easier to execute a checkmate. So let's see what we can do. Again, the same thing is happening. This checkmate is there, then maybe this is also happening over here. So let's see what we can do. Yeah, one more checkmate. Knight queen into h7 is also happening because of the bishop. So there are a lot of checkmate squares around black king. So we are going to play rook e8. Now, what will happen after rook e8? If he captures, by the way, I forgot to tell you one more thing. There is one more checkmate coming up, and that is queen into f8 mate. So there are four checkmate squares: one, two, three, and four. And right now, all these four squares are defended by various black pieces. We are trying to disturb their coordination, so that's why we are sacrificing the rook. So rook e7. So here we have blocked the rook, and if it doesn't capture, we are going to play queen into h7 mate, because this rook no longer defends h7. If he captures with the rook, then now this bishop is blocked. F8 rook is not guarded, and will play queen into f8. It's a checkmate. If to do that, if it plays this, then again rook is blocked, pawn is not supported. We'll play queen into h7, checkmate. So after rook e7, the best move for black is to play rook f7. That way he saved the rook, so the f8 square is still under his guard, and then he is guarding this h7 also. And so let's see what we can do. Here we are going to play this check. Now what to do? Now this knight was hanging, so we captured the knight. He has to block the check, so maybe he will play something like bishop to f8, and then we'll continue bishop and rook into bishop, rook into rook, and finally queen into f8, checkmate. So we started from this position. You can say this is a mate in 4. So we continued with rook e7, rook f7, rook into knight, bishop f8. We will simply capture on f8, and then it's a checkmate. Let's move ahead. Okay, again similar looking position. The castling wall is broken. The g pawn is absent. So there are threats coming up like this. Even we can play something like maybe f6 is also available for the queen. Not right now, as queen is guarding all these important squares. Queen is guarding f6. Queen can block the check with queen g7. So here we have to do something about the queen. So right now we are going to play g3 first. Rook g3 check. King is forced to move inside, and then we are going to remove the queen from this important diagonal by playing rook to e4. Now queen has to move away. If queen moves over here, queen is gone, queen is gone. If he moves to g7, then we'll simply play queen into g7, and queen is again gone. What's a checkmate? So he may play something like queen f8. Right now the black's queen d8. Sorry, right now black's position is totally hopeless, and we'll continue with queen g7 mate. So here again you need to consider few things. All the pieces you have around opponent's king, all the open lines you have, all the important squares you have, so that way you can plan your attack well, that way you can coordinate your pieces well. Let's move ahead. Okay, so this looks bit difficult because right now all three pawns are present. King's castling is not so weak, but this pawn on f6 is like a thorn in the flesh. So with this pawn, we can plan a checkmate on g7. So white wants to play queen h6, and then queen g7 is a checkmate. So let's see what we can do. Right now we cannot do that. Why? Because if we play queen h6 directly, then black is going to play queen into h3 check, and then this pawn will be blocked, and maybe he will give more checks, he will exchange the queens here. Uh, there are a lot of complications coming up. So first of all, we need to stop this attack. If we can play knight g5 or maybe knight f5, and that way queen h6 cannot be played because queen is blocked. So we have a better idea to do that. We are going to play rook f5. So we are blocking this diagonal, we are sacrificing the rook, and at the same time we are now going to play queen h6. Very importantly, the f6 pawn is still supported. So maybe he will capture with the pawn, and then there follows. Now we don't have to play queen h6 because there's a better way to give checkmate. We are going to play queen g5 check. Is forced to play king h8, and then finally queen g7 checkmate arrives. Let's move ahead with the next position. Okay, again this position may look similar except there is no pawn on f6, but there is a hole on f6. See, all these pawns are on white squares, and all these white square pawns, they are defending only white squares. So as you can see, there is no one guarding the dark squares, and here we are going to execute our checkmate plan through these dark squares. Let's see how to continue. Right now we wish to play knight f6 right away, but the problem is the knight is defending the f6 square. So knight is the only defender who is guarding this dark square. So of course we are going to remove the knight by sacrificing an exchange, rook into d7. Whether he captures with the bishop or with the queen, it doesn't make any difference. Bishop into d7, knight f6 check, king f8. He can move somewhere over here or over here, but then again checkmate will happen very quickly. For example, if he moves over here, then there will be this double check coming up, and after any king move, queen g7 is a mate. So that is why after knight f6 check he will move to king f8, but then there follows this. Now we are attacking the queen. Queen is under attack. If he captures the knight, which he is forced to capture, even if he moves the queen away, he will be checkmated, pawn into knight, and then there follows queen h8 mate. Now in this position, even if he moves the queen away, let's say queen d6, still the checkmate is happening because of this knight on d5. King cannot escape through e7. We'll end this chapter with this very nice position. Again, we have successfully opened h file, and we have successfully put our rooks on the file. Right now all the squares around the king looks defended, but we have a better plan. We have a super plan. In fact, we are going to play queen f6. Queen f6 is a brilliant queen sacrifice. Now he must accept this sacrifice, or else suppose if he plays something like queen d8, then there follows rook h8 check. It's almost a checkmate, so he's forced to capture the rook, and then either we can capture the bishop with the queen, or even we can play rook into h8 checkmate. That is why after queen f6, black is forced to accept the sacrifice. So we are going to play bishop into f6, and then after g into f6, now the checkmate pattern is created, or you can say mating net is weaved. We have woven a mating net, and now we are going to checkmate the king on h8, and that checkmate is unstoppable. So, in this chapter, we discussed how we are going to checkmate the opponent's castle king. Sometimes there will be weaknesses in the castling pawn structure. If a pawn structure is intact, then you may try and create some weaknesses. Sometimes there will be weak squares in the castling formation. You have to use all these minor details or minor points to launch a successful attack against opponent's castle king. I hope you enjoyed this session. So, for more such concepts, stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone.